know I try to be a good man. I always give it my best. But truth be told, someday I want to go to the wild, wild west.
And now, live from our Smokehouse studio, it's time for Real Estate Jerky. All your real estate questions answered by a provocatively lean expert host, Ed Parcaut, MBA, veteran, and president of Lending for Living. And today's special expert guest, real estate advice you won't find anywhere else. Plenty to chew on, starting now.
Hey, it's great to be here this afternoon with my special guest, Jay Casey. He is the general manager of Casey Moving, Storage, and Shredding. Jay, thank you so much for being here today.
Ed, thanks for having me out. Great day. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Thanks for being here. One of the reasons I wanted to have you on is a lot of times what we do is when we help people buy homes, help them get them into homes, one of the things they have to do is then all of a sudden pack up all their stuff and move it. And I think that was one of the things that we do to people that we don't realize how much we do to them by helping them buy a home and move. I mean, I understand when people change from one rental to another rental, they don't normally always use a mover. But when you have a huge household, it's so much easier to hire a mover, isn't it?
It sure is. Moving, they rank us up there with death and divorce as far as a stress in your life. So, we can take some stress out of somebody's life and streamline it. That's the way to do it. Yeah,
because I just had a client who I referred him out and told him to call because he's like, well, my son's going to help me. This is going to help me. And he was out in Ione. And I'm like, hire a moving company because you're going to be for the next month or two going to the chiropractor. Plus, you're going to damage your furniture. You might as well hire somebody, have them come out, and go forward. Hey, we have somebody in the showroom there. Is that Dale?
That's one of my mentors came out to see us today.
Hey, we'll get him back. We'll get him in here.
Good stuff.
All right. So one of the, with Real Estate Jerky, the reason we do this show is to help people realize that it's the best way to build personal wealth is through home ownership. And that was one of the reasons we do that. Well, let's get Dale in here.
Come on in, Dale.
Yeah, I guess he's not coming in. All right. Well, we'll keep going. All right. We'll bring him in on the break. So what would you say is the number one thing people need to think about when they're thinking about moving? Oh, he's taking your picture. That's what he's doing.
Hey there. Hey, good to see you, sir. I think the main thing is that pre-planning. A lot of times people will call us on a Monday and they think they want to move on Friday. That doesn't work anymore. They need to really pre-plan. They need to make sure that they have a destination to go, either storage or a new home. But sometimes people wait until the very last minute and they're talking to us days before they have a project, maybe moving into Seattle or Southern California right around the corner. And without pre-planning, that move doesn't work very well.
So when you're talking about pre-planning, so how long do you need? Do you need a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? What do you need to depending on the time of the year, of course. I'm sure the summertime's busier for you than the fall.
It is. Normally we like to tell people if you give us a 2-week notice, we can react to something. If there's an international move or there's some logistical issues, we need a little bit more time. But for a domestic move, either intra-state or interstate, 2-week notice is perfect.
Okay. Hey, let's get into a little bit about you and your company. So what I hear is the company is a veteran-owned company?
It is, yes, sir.
So that was your father or you?
Correct. It was my father.
And he was in the Army?
He was, yep.
And my son graduated boot camp last week from the Army.
Yeah. Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Good
thanks.
Stuff.
Yeah. I was in the Navy. It's in the family, I guess.
Thanks for your service.
Thank you. So the company started in, why don't you tell me that story?
Back in 75 was when my dad purchased the company from my grandpa. Back then we were Turlock Van and Storage, basic small moving company in Turlock, and 99% of our business was military business. You had Castle Air Force Base, you got Rough and Ready Island, Sharp Army Depot, McClellan. All we did was military moves. And occasionally we got a referral. Somebody's grandmas were moving them from the country into town or vice versa. But we didn't have any salespeople. All we did was military moves. And then in the early 90s, things changed. You got Dianne Feinstein and a couple other politicians saying, hey, we don't need the military in California. And military bases started closing. Castle Air Force Base in 92, McClellan, later Rough and Ready Island. And all of a sudden we're like, holy crap, we've lost all of our business. We need to diversify a little bit. So mid-90s, we got into record retention, document storage. We started getting into warehouse logistics, and we figured that there's other people to move. We got into corporate relocation. So we do a lot of corporate relocation now, and we have a small residential moving. So the old guy that says don't keep all of your eggs in one basket, that applies to us. If we would have continued just to be a mover in Turlock, we would probably not be here today.
So did your grandfather start when did he start the business?
My grandpa got in the business probably in the early 50s over for a company in Monterey, Coda Transportation. Coda, again, another big military mover with Fort Ord over in Monterey, which is now closed as well.
Right.
And Mr. Coda gave my grandpa an opportunity to come over to Merced and open up an operation over here, thinking that they were going to get some military business out of the Vernalis Naval Station. So we came over. My grandpa came over the hill. My dad was actually born over in Pacific Grove. Came over the hill, and that things didn't work out with Coda and with the military. So my grandpa branched off and started his own moving company. In '75, when my dad purchased it, they were North American van lines. My dad's, when he purchased it, spun off. It became Global Van Lines, and now we're an agent for United and Mayflower Transit.
Okay. And then you got involved in 1989?
Yeah, right there. Really right after high school, college, really kind of did what most people do in family business, kind of work your way up from, sweeping the warehouse floor to going on jobs, becoming a driver, getting into management, getting into sales. My expertise is really not so much in the household goods. It's always in the non-household goods, office moving, anything that has to do with logistics, any type of third-party crating, anything like that is more my specialty.
Yeah, I didn't realize that 40% of your business is corporate.
It is, yeah. Yep. And that's anywhere from an office move to a corporate relocation. We've got accounts right here in Modesto with corporate offices down in Livingston, where we're moving folks from point A to point B all the time.
Wow. And then, so what's the furthest away you've moved somebody?
It's always international. Alaska, Australia, Russia. We take people anywhere.
So you had collusion with Russia?
We do. No, don't say anything about that. Not anymore.
All right. Anyway, Australia. So what do you have? You put it on a cargo container, put it on a ship, and send it over?
Yeah. You got a couple options there. So you got a 20-foot container, or you got a 40-foot container. Sometimes people have really small items to move, so we'll put that into a wooden crate, and that wooden crate will be consolidated with other wooden crates into one of those 40-foot containers. We'll make arrangements with customs. We'll make arrangements with the steamship lines to take those containers overseas, and we have a destination agent or an origin agent, depending if they're coming back over, to kind of coordinate everything for us.
Now, when it's an international move, is there a period of time it has to sit in the harbor because of
it's incredible. Even Hawaii or Alaska, we consider those to be international. So if somebody's moving from Modesto to Maui, the transit time is anywhere between 6 to 12 weeks.
Really?
It's a big process, yeah.
So is it cheaper just to sell everything here and buy all new over there?
No, of course not. You always want to move.
I don't want to take it away from you. I just being in the military, big moves from especially Hawaii to here, or for here over to Germany, and when you have families and stuff like that, it gets a little involved.
Yeah, most of the time, the best thing to do in a move is purge, consolidate, move the things that are important, and go from there.
Right, and then okay, and then 5% is local. Is that all?
Yeah, local move, and we'll.
I'm just bringing out notes that Marlene gave me.
Yeah,
so.
We'll do that with somebody moved from Houston to Ceres to Atwater, those type of little things. That business has changed so much. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of folks on the internet, and we just don't want to compete in that market too much anymore.
A lot of business on internet for moving?
There is.
Really?
Yep. A lot of people don't realize this, but the moving industry is regulated in California.
Keep going.
Oh, thanks.
That was 1 minute left. That's what I'm saying before
the
break.
We used to be regulated by the Public Utilities Commission, the PUC. Now we're regulated by the Bureau of Household Goods and Services. So you always want to make sure when you're moving locally in California, San Diego, or local here, always getting the proper documentation that you're dealing with a mover that's legit in the state. The internet movers are kind of our worst enemy right now.
Yeah, I understand that. Hey, let's go out to a break. We'll be right back after this break. Listeners, if you have questions or comments, you can dial pound 250, say the keyword phrase Real Estate Jerky. Again, that's pound 250, say the phrase Real Estate Jerky, and you'll get to us. Leave your comments or concerns, and we'll talk to you later. We'll talk when we get back.
What out there?
I was threw up. I got so nervous. How did I look?
Yeah, whatever.
You look fat.
The camera adds a lot.
I thought the radio takes it off.
The radio takes it off, but the camera's put
Radio
it back
takes
on.
it off. Yeah.
It's like that one late. I forget what show it was. Oh, it looks like how many cameras are on you? Cameras at 10 pounds. How many cameras are on you?
All right, get over there, Dale. I'm gonna get a picture
no,
of you guys.
Jay,
Yes,
sound okay?
yes, visitor.
He's kind of a mentor here for me, helping me out.
It's just,
I didn't realize I beat him every year at cornhole.
Yeah?
We cheated every year.
It's either give $500 and not play, or play and still get $500.
Yeah.
Might as well try to
Might as well
play.
play, yeah. Yeah, cornhole tournaments, it's getting tough.
I'd do much better if I put the beer down.
Yeah, I do better with it because it offsets the balance.
I think you need to drink more beer.
No, I'm saying I keep a beer in my hand.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
Maybe put it down.
Chug it. Maybe that'll help.
That's why I gave up golf.
My golf's getting
Is that the way you're drinking?
You know,
Katie played in a tournament yesterday and shot a 122.
Wow.
Wasn't bad.
whenever you're ready over there, we'll get going again.
So we're not going off this. We're just going with this.
Could you hear it over here when we're talking? Or not?
Yeah,
When you were in the room? Besides us talking?
Oh, no, I couldn't
Okay.
hear it through the
All right.
speakers. No.
All right, so this next segment's 12
take my shirt
minutes.
off?
Yeah, if you need to. It's going to be on that camera. So then this is going to be 12 minutes. I'll do again 2 minutes, 1 minute.
12 minutes.
Okay.
Real Estate Jerky is back on Power Talk 1360. Chew on that.
Hey, we're back, and for those of you just tuning in, I'm Ed Parcaut, mortgage advisor with Lending for Living, and I'm your host, along with my guest, Jay Casey.
Thanks, Ed.
Hey, and he is the general manager with Casey Moving, Storage, and Shredding. I think you need another one added on there.
Yeah, another comma or two.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so let's get back to your company and what you do. And we're talking about moving internationally, moving locally, and stuff like that. And I know that you from shredding. You guys do a lot of shredding too, right?
We do, yeah. We've got 2 mobile shred trucks that are up and down the Tri-Valleys, Tri-Counties, I should say. So, San Joaquin County all the way down to Merced County. We mess around a little bit up in the foothills, Calaveras, Tuolumne, and Mariposa counties. The trucks are running up there as well.
Now you go all the way up to Tuolumne County. What do you go to, Sonora?
We go to Sonora. I think we got a couple accounts up there in Miwok with the Forest Service.
Really?
We're going up there as well. Yeah.
Okay. And then you also are a sponsor of OB Green Recycling or whatever?
Yeah, that's something that we got involved with Boyette Petroleum.
It's not really easy to be on the
It's
radio.
hard. It's really tough. I'm kind of nervous. You have a glass of water or something?
Yeah, we can get you a glass
Thanks.
of water.
Maybe a beer. But yeah, we started with Boyette, and it was a great community involvement. The community would come down. They bring 5 to 10 boxes. We traded on site for them. I think that Modesto Junk was involved with that as well, where they would bring e-waste and other electronics. So it was a great program. It's nice to give back to the community with that. And then from there, we'd also pick up an account or two because they would see the truck, see how the process worked, and then next thing you know, we're at their house or at their business.
And I think I have on here the next shred event is Saturday, October 19th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in O'Brien's Market in Riverbank.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can read really well.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. And by the way, they're bringing your water for you.
Oh, really?
They heard you. They're coming. All right. So what should people know about shredding, document management? Is there anything that you want to get into that part of it?
Sure. With the document management side, a lot of times people are still storing things in mini storages or their back closet at their warehouse or their office. To be compliant, especially HIPAA compliant, you need to take that to the next step. You need to bring things off site. Basically, think of KC Self Storage or KC Records Management as an extension of your office. We're just off site. If you need anything, we deliver it to you the same day. We can scan it and send it to you that way. Record retention, if you're doing it yourself, the main thing to stay on top of is that retention schedule. A lot of times what people do is they just store it in the back closet, they keep it there. Next thing you know, those boxes are eligible for destruction. Nobody does anything about them, and next thing you know, it's kind of like your trash bill. You've got all these boxes that you should have been shredding 4 or 5 every month for the last 10, 15 years, and now you've got this just massive amount of storage that you need to figure out what to do with.
No, I'm in the mortgage industry, so back in the day we had to keep all the files for 3 years in paper, and then now we don't keep anything paper. So it's helped us drastically.
Yeah, we see that a lot. I think the record storage business will probably never go away, but what we're finding is the the access and the delivery of items is definitely shrinking. For example, in our series facility, we have close to about 5 miles of open face shelving for x-rays. So we've got x-ray jackets from every hospital up and down the valley in our warehouse.
Did not know that. Yeah. Did you know that?
Ginormous. And before the imaging software came available, we were delivering somewhere between 500 to 800 x-ray jackets every day.
Wow.
And within a month, with the new imaging, that stopped, and we went down to a couple hundred, and now we're probably delivering a mammogram or a PED chart once every 2 or 3 months, if that. So we've got all this storage, but nobody's asking for anything. So what will happen is those films will stay on the shelf. Once they're eligible for destruction, we'll contact the owner or the company and start processing that out for a purge.
So basically, what you're seeing more and more people keeping it as an image because that's where technology went. Because I know I deal with Kaiser and everything's right there.
Yeah. So the image, that's the old school. So what
Right.
we're finding right now is somebody will like in your case, you'll scan that document or it'll be an image. Sometimes you want to have a little safety blanket. So you might print that off, put it in a box, and keep that box for maybe not the entire 7-year retention, but maybe for a 6-month retention. Once you feel comfortable that it's on your hard drive, everything's safe, then you'll purge that out. So we're seeing a lot of the hospitals still, imaging, taking copies of files, but we're still storing those items, but they're not going back out.
Right, because you never know when you lose that copy, something gets corrupted or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember back in the 90s when mortgage companies would throw away people's files into trash cans and have all their credit report in it, their social security number, everything back in this. I couldn't, you can't believe it.
Yeah.
But that's what they did.
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah, that's how the first identity theft would get going. They just go through the trash cans.
Yep. In our shredding business, we're probably doing somewhere between 10 to 15,000 pounds of paper a day is what we shred. And again, that's between Stockton to Merced.
Have you seen that gone down at all, or is it about the same?
It's about the same. Yeah. It's about the same. And what we find, just like any business, it's the beginning of the year, everybody's purging. So our business doubles, for December, January, and then it kind of goes back to normal.
Yeah, because I remember when certain things came out years ago that with computers, they said paper's dead. They never use a piece of paper again, and it's still forever.
People are always printing that report, reviewing it, and then they're throwing it back in the shredder.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't realize how to use a PDF, I guess.
Yeah, PDF. Now, what is that?
It's so much easier having 3 monitors. You can have everything up there. You don't have to print it or anything.
Yep.
Yeah, but look, if they all went to that, you'd be out of business.
Yeah, who wants that? It's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. All right, so we did the shredding business, and we still have some time. So let's go back to your moving. So what is the heaviest thing you ever moved?
Heaviest thing I would have
and
to say.
Don't say Dell.
That is second heaviest. We do a lot of warehousing for different types of machinery. As far as a residential move, the heaviest thing would be a gun safe. And the normal gun safe that's in your closet and my closet, that's a 800,000-pound gun safe. These big boys now are coming in to be 2,500 pounds. They're just ginormous. So gun safe for residential people. And as far as corporate stuff, I'll never forget this, when we closed Castle Air Force Base, we took out all the B-52 bomber simulators. So basically you have this cockpit on spider legs that we brought some riggers in, put those on some flatbed trucks and shipped those to Fairchild Air Force Base out of Spokane and another Air Force Base down in Oklahoma. So those got some ginormous piece of equipment.
And those were probably pretty heavy, I take it.
Yeah.
Now, I have a safe that was out of Shoemaker's Jewelers downtown.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah, it was from 1910. So I have that safe.
Yeah.
It has the 2 doors on the front and then has a cash door, and that thing's like 3,000 pounds.
Yeah, it's
Can
crazy.
you guys move that?
We sure can, yeah. Bring in some safe jacks.
Yeah.
Throw some masonite down on the ground and just kind of roll it around.
I'm actually trying to get rid of it because I have no need for it years ago. So if anybody wants it, just give me a call.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What's your number?
Come pick it up. It's in the garage.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, we have about 4 minutes before break. So let's go a little bit further into. So I asked you the heaviest thing. What's the weirdest thing you've ever moved?
I don't know.
These are putting you on the spot.
Yeah,
Just
we can say
unique.
that-
How about unique thing besides the?
Unique, most of that stuff is going to be, some artwork, some antique furniture, some things that we need to be created. They can't be moved just out into the truck. Can't really think of a particular name or a piece, but most of the stuff is, high value items that require some extra TLC.
How hard is to move a pool table?
Pool tables, a slated pool table, they're a pain in the tail. You get all of your buddies that have one always call you and say, "Hey, you want a pool table for free?" The reason is because they don't want to deal with moving it. The slated pool table, you got to take that thing apart. Once the slate is out, they're simple to move, but that process of removing the slate, putting the slate back in, putting the felt back in, it's a pain in the
And then you have to
tail.
level them and all that.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Normally, we'll bring in one of our partners, one of our third-party move specialist partners that take care of that grading for us.
And I think the other thing's hard to move is pianos, right?
Pianos aren't too bad anymore.
really?
Everybody and their mom's got a grand piano or a spinet, so we put that on the piano board and take it right out the front door. Yeah.
I guess glad that you have that, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So we had somebody on a long time ago, right? And we asked them what was the weirdest thing and they actually they were doing remodeling, and when they were remodeling this house or in San Francisco, and there was a room closed off,
Nice.
right? They opened it up, and it was like they just left everything in there and closed it off. So anything unique like that you ran into while you're moving stuff?
We come across stuff like that all the time. I think interesting stuff back when I was actually physically moving, you'd be in somebody's home and you're trying to get the couch out of a particular room, and it won't come out. You're trying every angle. You try the window, nothing's coming out, and the male customer is upset. He's like, "We got it in there. You got to get it out." And the wife would come in and say, "Hey, Bobby, we did a remodel 4 years ago. We moved this wall out, and that's why it won't come out." So we've had situations where we've either left furniture in or we've just had to dismantle everything to get it out.
Yeah, because door frames in older homes are not the same size
No.
they are today, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's crazy.
Because I have an older home and it's the same. I mean, it's like I had to measure because we had to bring something in, and I had to measure all the different doors to see which one it would fit through. Yeah.
I figure 30-something inches or 30, 32, 34 for a normal home, and these older homes, you're definitely below that.
There's no standards.
Yeah. How do you get through some of those older doors? You just walk sideways?
Yeah,
or
I
straight
walk
ahead?
sideways,
Yeah.
same way as on the plane.
Same here.
Yeah. And thanks for throwing that in there.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah,
Just help you.
I think we're all about the same here.
We
so
are.
let's just back it off.
It's kind of weird
Let's
that
be nice.
It's weird that my chair keeps sinking. Is that the shock of my chair just kind of
No,
lowered down?
it has a weight limit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's kind of like moving, exceeding weight limits. Sometimes you gotta.
That's an issue.
This dolly can only support so much, right?
This chair, same thing.
Yeah, same thing. It's probably got a bad shock.
Yeah, definitely bad.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right, so we'll go out to break now.
Perfect.
Hey, we're going to go out to break. As a veteran myself, I think it's important to support members of our military. I'm glad that we have our guest today, Casey's Moving and Storage, which is a veterans-owned business. Thanks for being here again. Shredding is actually important, and when we get back, we'll talk more about this with Casey. Jay Casey.
Ed, thanks, buddy.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Sorry, I lost my plate on there when I looked away.
I should do this professionally.
Oh, yeah. Good. Definitely.
Wait,
When are you doing your thing?
Can I get something to eat, too?
What do you want? There's donuts back there. No idea how old they are.
I was joking about the water, but thank you.
Well, they heard you, so they jumped on it. You know how fast Marlene is?
Is that actually water in there?
Yeah. It's water.
It's vodka.
It's vodka. That's right.
So then from here, do you go back to the office? Where do you go from here?
Work.
Yeah.
Actually, today, we were almost empty nesters until my wife had to get another dog.
You got a new dog?
Yeah, we had to
Hey,
go
talk
pick
to
it up
this
today.
Yahoo over there about that stuff.
What'd you get?
And a Rottweiler, an older one. Well, that's what our
Yes.
ML was, a Rottweiler, German Shepherd, Chow mix. And so the eyes of a Rottweiler, they just go into your soul. I mean, you look at it, it's weird how they look at you.
And they look like they're smiling.
Well, some of them. I had one when I was in high school. That dog it was smiling, but people thought it was growling, which was the greatest thing. Because your dog's growling. No, she's smiling, being happy to see you.
Yeah.
You don't hear any noise, do you?
I love that they have that
When
smile.
you say older, how old is the dog?
I think it's this one's 4. I think 3 or 4.
Goes
She's
to like
not that old.
Rottweiler rescue or something like
Yeah.
that?
Well, we found her up in Antioch, so we're gonna pick her up there.
Aww. What's her? Well, you won't see the name until you see her.
Annabelle.
Is it and both?
Jay, we got 10. We
Both
got
one
12 more
each?
minutes. So what are we
Okay.
going to talk about?
Let's talk about storage. I like storage. And let's talk about Dale. And then I've got a couple jokes.
I like
Dale?
storage too, actually, because that's a lot of what
Ready?
people are going to.
Storage, like household storage.
Okay, let's talk about whatever you want.
No,
No,
this
storage
is,
is
this
great.
is you.
Oh, yeah, let's do. Yeah,
I
storage.
mean, what do you guys have a
Whatever-
storage facility for residential stuff, or just for other?
For both, yeah, residential.
So,
yeah.
well, come back. Let's talk about storage. How do you want to get into
And
that?
the pod things and the drive and the move it and then
What do I
I
start?
love all
Do I
that.
start crying or something? Is that cool?
That's
Take it
fine.
from here?
That's fine.
You just store your emotions.
Yeah, control those emotions.
And in your
If you want to push that over there and get a cooler in there,
Are you warm?
it's always warm in here. I got the equipment here by my crotch, so of course it's warm
Did
in
you
here.
just say crotch? Can you say crotch on the air?
You said crap.
I can say crap,
You
can I?
did say crap. Yeah.
You said crap
You
already.
did say crap. Yeah.
So.
You
Should I
can't
do
say ass crap though.
Should I do a Johnny Dangerously? You forking bastard.
You're gonna have to take some of these outtakes in here. From the,
You forking bastard.
Johnny Dangerously. That's good knowledge. Wow.
What's that?
Johnny Dangerously. I'm
That was
impressed.
good.
Wow.
Good old days.
Oh yeah.
all right.
Joe Piscopo.
What are you doing after this?
I'm gonna go have a cocktail.
Well, that's like your guys' day, isn't it?
No, actually it's not. But this was a lot of work.
I wouldn't let him have a drink during lunch.
It's a lot of work today.
You what?
He said he couldn't drink during lunch.
You would have been more relaxed. Ready? All right.
Look at me, look at him.
Who do I look at?
Real Estate Jerky is back on Power Talk 1360. Chew on that.
We're back. I'm with my special guest, Jay Casey. He's the general manager with Casey Moving and Storage and Shredding. Let's get all that in there, shall we? And I'm your host, Ed Parcaut, mortgage advisor with Lending for Living. So, Jay, when we left, we were talking about many different things, but what do you like about the moving industry?
Ed, great.
Not the movie industry, the moving
moving.
industry.
Okay. Not like stuntman or anything like that. More like moving.
Is that what you used to do?
I used to back in the old days. That's why I'm so big, muscular. I think the best thing about the moving industry is
Weren't you the stuntman from All Cop?
I was. You remember that? Actually, the Fall Guy. I mean, fall from a tall building.
Yeah.
Those are the good ones.
That's
Lee Majors.
Yeah, that's definitely dating yourself there.
Just solving solutions for folks. Like I mentioned earlier, moving's up there with death and divorce as far as a stress, and being able to find a solution for somebody. There's a lot of folks that they've got to be out of their house today, but they can't be in their new home for 4 weeks or 2 months or 6 months. So there's some lag time. We got to figure out a solution to help them get everything out, get them in a temporary home or something temporarily, and then into their new place. So I think the best thing about this industry is just working with pretty positive people and coming up with the solution that works best for them.
So you were talking about storage, right? Storing their stuff.
Correct.
So do you guys have storage? How does that work?
We do.
You like how I do that little?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I didn't even think about storage, but I guess you've got a couple options with the storage, and a lot of times, especially in today's world, there's a lot of people that want to do things themselves. So we've got a mini storage concept where someone can go in and rent a mini storage, roll up a door, throw everything into their unit, and when their new home is ready, a new apartment, they can move everything out on their own. We've got a kind of a pod concept. We've got 16-foot containers, Casey portable storage, where we can deliver that to your front door, no matter where that could be. You can load it, or we can do a hybrid, and we can provide the labor to load that and secure that unit. We can leave it in your driveway in the front of your house, or we can bring it back to our facility and store it there, inside or outside. And then when your new home is ready, re-deliver that out. And the nice thing about the portable storage is, it cuts back on labor so much. You load it one time, and then you unload it one time when you're ready to go. Mini storage, you've got labor in and out. Full service storage, where we store things inside our warehouse as a full service move concept. Again, you got the labor. We got to load it. We got to unload it. We got to re-deliver it. The portable storage is just ideal for get it in one time and then unload it when you're ready to roll.
No, you were talking about the pod type.
Yeah.
How big are those? Are they different sizes, or are they the same?
Yeah, they're all 16 feet. Right now, we've got an order coming in. We've got some 20-foot containers coming in, but right now, everything that we own, it's a 16-foot container, 8x8 with a roll-up door.
So you fill it up, and then if that's not enough, go get another one.
Exactly. It's kind of like the retail side of moving. It's like you're shopping at Costco. You see the container on the shelf. You grab it. You scan it. You take it home. You realize you need a second one. You got to run back to the store and get a second one. Again, everything with us, everything's done online. So you find that what you want online, buy one or rent one. If you need a second one, get the second one.
So if I order one today, when does it come out?
Depending on the schedule.
What's the lag? I mean,
lag time is probably about 48 hours. Yeah, turnaround time.
So again, planning's important.
Exactly. So if you want to get one over Memorial Day weekend or Labor Day weekend, and you're thinking about doing it today, it's not going to happen. But
when's Memorial Weekend?
I don't know when it is. It's got to be away. Did it just pass us? A holiday weekend or something like that.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the the best thing to do
I was just excited. There's a holiday coming up I didn't know about.
I think we have Columbus Day, don't we?
I don't know. I don't keep track. That's not really a holiday.
It is in my book. Christopher Columbus sailing the ocean blue, 1942 or 1449 or something. Good old days. Sorry.
1492.
Yeah, but 2 weeks would be great on the portable. But if someone get online today, book it, and it could be delivered within 48 hours.
And then you just call to pick it up, or is it also set up online?
It's all set up online, but we'd like to communicate with our customer because they think it's going to be picked up on such and such day. We like to hear that verbally from them as well, because sometimes life gets busy. They didn't load it like they thought. They needed a second one. They're in crisis, so we always communicate before going back out to the house.
And you guys will go into a house and pack it up.
Correct.
Right? You'll do the whole thing. They just pay how much per hour for the man hours to pack and all that stuff.
Yeah. You get some different options on the pricing. So if somebody is moving within 100 miles of their current location, all movers are going to charge by the hour for the labor side of things. And then for the moving, it'll be the packing will be per box. And then you've got people that are moving outside the state or further than 100 miles. Most of the time, they're going to get charged by the hundredweight or the weight of the entire shipment.
You just give me notes about you. Don't worry about it.
Good stuff.
So he gave me a question. What is the longest time in storage? So I guess you had somebody with something in your storage for a very long time.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy about that. So,
see, good thing we have him here.
So
by the way, if you don't know this, Dale Boyette's in the studio today.
He's my chaperone.
That's right. He's your driver.
On the storage, it's amazing. Being third generation, it's incredible. So, my grandfather got us into the business. I wish he would have got us into like an Irish pub or something cool.
You can still do that.
You could. So we had customers that my grandfather had in storage when my dad took over in 1975. So what happens is, just like everybody, we get busy, we pay our bills, we just keep going. So you'd get somebody would bring their stuff into storage, and they would maybe pass away. So their kids would take everything over, and then the kid would keep paying the bill, and they would pass away. The grandkids and so forth. The next thing you know, we've got stuff that we've had in storage since 1955, and you get people that come in and say, we don't want it anymore. I'm like, come on, you got heirlooms, you got family photos, but things stay in storage for quite some time. Yeah.
So the longest time is from 55, 50, or you just don't know the answer?
I don't have the answer. I would say that we've had people's stuff in storage for close to 40, 50 years probably, and if not longer. Yeah.
That's a lot of money to pay for.
It is. Yep. And when you look at what you're storing,
I'm not trying to take customers away from you, but
storage. If you can avoid it, avoid it. If not, once it's in storage, it stays for a while. I think our mini storage folks, the average time that they're there is somewhere between 15 and 18 months. And when we look at our software and how often they've accessed the property, they've accessed the property one or two times. They bring everything in, and then they disappear. So, storage, if you don't need it,
get rid of the junk.
Yeah.
And
us as
let go.
Us as Californians and Americans, man, we keep a lot of crap, a lot of stuff for storage that we could purge out. When you go overseas, when you go to Europe, you don't see many storage facilities on every other street corner. They just don't have that there.
No, they don't have much there.
That's right.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't hear him either.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a very valuable service for storage. But you're right. We store a lot of stuff. If you can get rid of it, get rid of the stuff. Let it go. Sell it. Get rid of it. Go buy it again. But some people want to hold on to certain items that family heirlooms or something, and they want to keep it. We have a storage, and it's all of our kids' stuff.
Yeah.
So someday we'll get rid of it.
You could always move that to one of our storage facilities too, if you wanted to.
Oh, could I?
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Why don't you give me your card, and I'll give you a call.
No problem. Here it is now.
Actually, why don't you right now give the people your company name,
Okay.
where you're located, and your phone number, and say the phone number twice.
Perfect. We're KC Moving Systems. The best way to find us online is to go to goteamkc.com. That's goteamkc.com. From that site, it'll take you to our moving services, our portable storage, mini storage, all the different things that we offer is available there. The best way to track us down, our main office number is 209-531-9010. That's 209-531-9010.
I think it's a great service you guys provide from the residential side, because I deal with a lot of clients who get homes and get the mortgage for them, and the stress after that point, when they're trying to figure out, get all the services turned on, get everything packed up, they got kids, they have everything, and then how to get rid of stuff. Because I know with us, when we moved from one of our houses to our next house, we had so much extra stuff. You don't realize, 3-car garage, you had 5 kids at the time, that are no longer, not all of them there anymore, and there was a lot of stuff to get rid of.
5 kids? Are you Mormon?
Yeah. No, that would be 10 kids.
Oh, no, sorry.
Anyway, don't pick on them.
Sorry. I wasn't picking on them. Sorry. Apologize for that.
That's okay. No, combined marriage. So we have a couple of minutes before we go to break. Anything more in depth you want to get into this in the storage part of it at all?
No, Ed, I just really appreciate letting me come on today. I think it was a good opportunity and great to talk with you.
I appreciate having you here. You're not going anywhere soon, so you still have 11 minutes with me.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we'll go to break, and then we'll come back. And
Can
we'll
I get something to eat or just
You'll
the
have
water?
to wait till afterwards.
Okay.
You're supposed to eat before you get here.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We don't have a buffet. There's no green room here.
I thought it was like on a ship. I wasn't supposed to eat before I got on the ship. Before I got into the newsroom,
No, you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
It's not a doctor's. You're not going for surgery.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the big, so insurance, right? Because a lot of people, when they move themselves, they drop stuff.
Yeah.
They break stuff. And if you guys do it, I assume you have insurance to cover it.
Yeah, well, movers use a term. We use a term called valuation. Valuation is an extension of the carrier's liability when the goods are in our hands. So most of the time, what someone will do, especially for an interstate move, they're going to take replacement valuation out on that shipment. A local move, if a customer does not want to go with replacement value, the mover is going to release the items at 60 cents per pound per article. I mentioned to you earlier that we're regulated by the Bureau of Household Goods and Services. So we've got certain
Still the Bureau? They didn't go back to department? Yeah.
No, it's still a Bureau. Yeah, we're old school here. They got briefcases and the trench coats. So we all use the same tariff, same pricing schedule. So all that terminology from every mover should be the same. But yeah, the insurance valuation is something we offer. If we make a mistake with the cargo, if you've purchased the replacement value, we're going to fix it. If we've done some damage to the property, that's where our own insurance will take care of that. So it's not something where you need to purchase something, protect your home from a scratch or a hole in the wall. Things happen, but if we've made a mistake, we're going to make things right for you.
Right. So why don't you take us out to break there, Jay? It's your turn.
All right, perfect. Thanks again for coming out this afternoon. We're going to take a real quick break, commercial break here. We'll be back in 2 and 2.
Is that what you're doing? All right, we'll talk to you when we get back.
Is that Chuck Bowman?
I think you're on.
That's not what you're supposed to
I think
do.
your show's in the morning, though. Actually,
You're supposed to do this.
You got to do the call signs. Power
Can you
talk.
take it to where?
Oh, this commercial?
Yes, that was your turn.
Oh, damn it! I didn't know that.
Yeah, whatever.
I didn't know
All right,
that
so we have.
commercial.
That was the one you're supposed to take us out. The
Well,
only
damn
one.
it!
You got to do 4 segments, man. That's a long time.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's got a lot of information.
Well, we're gonna
Quality.
have about 9 minutes.
Hey, talk about all the sex toys you find underneath the things.
That's freaking hilarious too. You're walking here.
No. Okay. Hold it.
Oh, we can't do it here.
No, we're gonna do it online.
So
we're
we need
gonna do it on the
those
radio. So I want to ask you, what's the unique, weirdest thing?
It's always underneath the mattress. And and they forget about it. We packed
Yeah,
everything but
9 minutes plus your main outro.
That was a long time
a
ago.
live one.
Huh?
I should do a live one.
I wish I could. We don't have the engineer.
Dale could do the engineering.
Well, he was in college. He was on the radio.
Okay.
He was the sex machine.
2 guys with a face for radio.
That's
Yeah, anybody?
All right, 9 minutes.
Okay, let's see this.
Are you bringing us back in?
He is bringing
Oh,
it
yeah,
back
okay.
in.
Time now.
So what I'll do is
So, yeah.
the music will. I'll point at you, and that's when you start. Okay. All right, let's get this 9 minutes done.
Boys, charity.
Yeah, bring your sex toys.
Leaving the bull behind. It's realist.
Hey, it's great to be back here. Hey, Jay, why don't you bring us in? I think you had
Yeah.
something to say over there.
Thanks, man. I'm going to do my own commercial. That's
All right.
okay. Yeah. You can't take it with you, so they say. Accept.
You want to try it again?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know what happened to my tongue there. It's odd.
That's it? You can't take it with you? That's
Oh,
like-
no, I thought I was going to try it
Oh.
again there. I didn't know.
Let's start all over.
I didn't know that. I apologize.
You gotta get it down. Do you want to read it a couple times?
Yeah, okay. I don't know what you're yelling again.
Because you can't go. You can't do it. All right, let's see the. Give me a second.
1.
Now you're like me and my kids.
Ready?
You ready?
Yeah, you bet I'm ready.
Yeah. Yep.
Leaving the bull behind. It's Real Estate Jerky.
Hey, Jay, why don't you bring us back in?
Hey, thanks, Ed. Hey, Ed, I'm going to do my own commercial. That's
All right,
cool.
heard it. Let's
All right, man. All right,
Speed it up. Let's go. Come on.
You can't take it with you, so they say, except when it comes to moving day. The house is near. The house is ready, whether near or far. There's just no way it'll all fit in the car. Do it yourself will make you crazy. That's why it's best to call Casey.
I didn't know you were going to do a Dr. Seuss.
Well, that's the way I roll, buddy. Green eggs and ham for everybody.
For all you just turning in, I'm Ed Parcaut, your host. I'm here with Jay Casey from Casey Moving and Storage. Did I leave anything else
No,
on the name?
I like that name.
All right.
Good
Good.
stuff. Thanks.
All right. So during the break, we got messaged some questions. What's the most interesting find you found either in storage or in somebody's house?
You know, it's that's interesting you say that. So, you know, we've all seen the show Hoarders. We've got people out there that are in our communities that collect a lot of things. We were moving an elderly lady who's been by herself for many years up out of the Sonora area. And I went up personally to help out with the survey, to check things out, make sure things were safe. We were packing things. And we found a grand piano in her front room that we didn't know that was there the first time I came out for the survey. Just
Was it covered up with
just
stuff?
covered up with stuff. So, you know, that's one-
Magazines and paper,
it's just
newspapers?
incredible. It's like
Wow.
unbelievable. So
Was it a good grand piano?
It was great. Yeah, great.
Most famous move?
Oh boy. So, well, I've moved to a lot of famous folks. Dale Boyette with Boyette Petroleum.
I didn't say infamous.
oh,
I said famous.
Evan Porges, Prime Shine. Yeah,
Again?
one of those. Yeah. So
So you pretty much, anybody important in Modesto, you move them.
try to.
So
Yeah.
that's why you haven't moved us.
Exactly.
'cause
Apologize
I'm not
for that.
important.
Yeah. No, you're there. You're right.
What's the most expensive move?
You know, most expensive is always going to be an interstate or international move. I don't have a dollar amount for you, but
So so Russia, the one you did to Russia, or Australia, or
yeah,
something.
you're talking on a residential move where somebody's got a 40-foot container that we're doing all the packing, and they're going to Australia, they're going to Sydney. That's a $85,000 move, possibly. A domestic move, somebody that's living out in Del Rio, that's moving to Fort Lauderdale. That's a $35,000 move, somewhere right in there. Normal size for a local move, 1,700 square foot home, Modesto, $1,200, $1,500, somewhere in
So another question that was posted to us was, have you found any skeletons or anything like along that around maybe storage or homes?
We haven't. There's a lot of firearms that we do move. It's interesting what people have for collections, but as far as
No, nothing. No bones or anything.
No,
right?
nothing like
You've been
that.
lucky.
Nothing
All
like that.
right. All right. So those are all the weird stuff. So I assume when someone's moving, one thing they should do is put away stuff in their bedroom that they don't want other people to see.
That's right. Yeah, a lot
would
of that
be
stuff's in the bedroom,
yeah,
underneath
so
the bed, nightstands, things like
go
that.
through the bed, go through everything, get it put away.
Yeah. Don't mess
Move
around.
them yourself, whatever
There
it
you
is.
go. Yeah.
Move your jewelry, any personal items yourself. that you
Jewelry,
want.
things like that, we're okay with. We're covered 100%, but some personal items that are in the bedroom.
I was just trying to lug them together there, not separate it out.
I separated them out there.
Because you don't want it. You don't want.
Yeah.
Like through customs.
Yeah. I would like to say, I always forget about them, but our team at Casey Moving, I always forget about those guys. They always make me look good. We've got some quality folks on our team. Martha is one of our number one coordinator, and really makes me look better than I deserve. She dots the I's and crosses the T's for me. We're very fortunate
She
to
just
have.
doesn't dress you.
No, she doesn't dress me.
Yeah, maybe she should pick that
I
up.
know somebody needs to. Dale's tried, but it's not a pretty sight. We're fortunate to be active in the community and help out where we can. So it's been a good business. Got a lot of great friends, and it's good to be part of the team.
Yeah. Still got you for about another 4 minutes. So, what charities are you involved with?
Yeah,
Are you in Rotary or any of that kind of stuff?
We're not in Rotary. We do help out Sunrise Rotary. We do their dictionary storage for them. What they'll do is they'll bring in all these dictionaries in for third or fourth grade classes, I believe. We'll store those. We'll let them store it at our facility. Sometimes they go somewhere else to do that. We help out with Seroptimus, both in Ceres and Modesto. We're active in the Lions Club in Ceres. We're very humble. Where people call and need help, we will react. One of our big ones that we do in Turlock is for the Festival of Trees for Emmanuel Hospital, which is part of DMC now. We'll do all of that, work volunteer for them. They've got a big fundraiser out there in Turlock. So if people need help, we try to help where we can.
Do you play at the Make Dreams Real golf tournament?
I do. Normally I come in pretty good at that tournament. Make Dreams Real, they've been.
You mean what? You mean winning it, like in
Well,
number 20 or something? What?
kind of winning.
The high 20s?
I really don't like to keep a scorecard when I'm golfing. It's just all in the head. And then right before I turn the scorecard in, I remember my scores and I fill it out real quick. So I've came real close to winning, but most of the time it just doesn't work out.
How'd you do in the cornhole tournament?
I did really well. What I did on the cornhole tournament this year, which was great.
You hired a professional to play for you?
Kind of like that. I came in late. We found a crew that was doing well. We said, we'll take over from here. And we did our damage there.
So they were so far ahead that no matter how you did, you still won?
It wasn't a pretty sight.
Okay,
It wasn't for the squeamish, as they say.
Why don't you just hire professionals next time? It would be easier.
Is there professional cornhole guys?
Oh, yes, there is.
Really?
You should ask Dale.
Dale would know, huh?
Yeah.
He likes the cornhole, doesn't he?
Well, we'll get into that. Basically, there's people who, online, there's these professionals. They know exactly how to play.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who play all the time. I work, so I don't
I'm
play
a worker, too.
Yeah.
I do work.
So.
But you're not golfing anymore then, huh?
No, I gave that up.
Just the shoulder?
No, I got tired of,
Yeah.
I used to play left-right, military golf.
Oh, yeah.
Left-right.
Yeah. I like that.
You like that?
Good stuff.
Anyway, so we went over interesting find, famous, most expensive.
That's about it. Really about it for the moving. There's all kinds of things that pop up. Just off the top of my head, I just can't really think of too much right now.
Not too bad because we'll have to stare at each other for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah. Is that an eyeliner?
No, that was back in the 80s
Okay.
in San Diego. Yeah. We won't get into that. That's a long story. All right, so one thing I'll tell you. So if you're looking to move and you're selling your home or you're buying a home, basically plan.
That's
plan.
right.
The first thing you should do once you get in contract, you're figuring out where after you do your inspections period, and that's all up, and you're going forward. Call movers, get them to come out, give you a bid, so you know exactly what it's going to cost you to move.
Exactly. So what you want to do?
Am I doing your job?
You're
for
doing
you?
my job. I appreciate you. You got me rolling here again. The main thing is do your due diligence. Get a couple quotes. All movers should be talking the same language. We're talking about a binding cost. So nobody should
What's a binding cost?
Basically, we're saying, hey, Ed, it's going to cost you $4,000 to move, and it's not going to go over this. Anytime you get a mover that can't tell you what the cost is going to be, you need to look at different avenues. The other thing is on payment. when you're moving with a professional moving company, we're going to collect payment at destination, not at origin. There's no such thing as a partial payment or a prepayment. If people start talking about, our movers start talking about non-binding and partial payments, run like the wind. These guys are not legit. They're not a brick and mortar mover.
They're going to take your money and run.
That's right.
They're not going to show up the day on the moving.
That's what happens. Or they're going to show up on the day of the movie and say, hey, Ed, I told you it was $4,000, but yeah, it's really about $8,000. And I'm here and I've already got your deposit. What do you want me to do? And you're going to say, go pound sand. Well, they got your $500 deposit. They're going to say, thanks. I'll see you later, buddy. Or you're going to say, okay, damn, I'll pay the $8,000. And they get to destination and now it's not 8, it's 12. So do your research on your movers and compare apples to apples.
All right. So, Jay, thank you for being here today.
Ed, thanks for having me. Thanks again for your service. We appreciate you.
Thank you.